Unfortunately, I was not able to video record this interview. I had issues with the technology, so it was done via phone. I interviewed Kim Vandergeest-Wallace. In all honesty, this is not the first time I've interviewed Kim. At the beginning of my journey to find a career in counseling, I was interviewing professionals to find out about their careers. Among many people I interviewed, Kim and I had a lot in common. She is warm and kind, has been through some of the same challenges that I have, and made it clear that I could contact her for anything at any time in the future along my journey. Kim works for the University of Kansas Hospital Health System. She has a PhD in psychology from UMKC, as well as a doctorate in philosophy. While she does treat patients for multiple reasons, her specialty is sex therapy. At the beginning of Kim's career, she noticed an increasingly number of clients saying to her, "I've never told anyone this before, but," and go into stories of sexual abuse, trauma, functionality, hormonal issues, and hidden values according to sexual curiosity. Once she noticed this common theme, she realized she was dealing with what she calls soul wounds. To lose somebody to death, or to discover something about yourself sexually that you don't feel is conforming with society, she describes that as something that could severely wound your soul and continue to affect you until you deal with it. Kim says the most important thing to be successful in this field is to be aware of your own value system and biases. If you are not aware, they may come out in the room with the client and they will feel dismissed. She also recommended being open with other people's experiences, even if it conflicts with your own beliefs. She actually had a lecture where she was working with students. One of her female students acknowledged having a bias against a controversial subject. Kim then did a role play with the student where Kim was the client and the student was the professional counselor. Kim mentioned the bias that the student had in a very small aspect of the story she was telling Kim. When the student was presented with this minimal aspect, the student focused on that topic, interjected her own feelings without being aware, and was an example for future teachings. This was an example of one of Kim's biggest frustrations. That and working with insurance companies. Kim attributes the favorite part of her work as the dynamic of the clients. She has such a wide range of clients. It keeps the day interesting and pulls her into the moment, whereas if she felt like she was doing things that were mundane, she would not feel as in the present as she does, because all of her clients have such different stories. Kim does feel that her training could have been better, but in the early 90s, everything was handled differently without the advantages we have with media and technology today. She highly recommended to look for the process when we start our training. She said, see how clients are handled from the beginning to middle to end, rather than how the treatment of the practice, because that can change in different settings. I asked Kim what surprised her most with this line of work. Because of the low amount of sex therapists in Kansas City, she is very busy. She never expected that her days would be this full. I also asked her what she would change about the work. Circling back, she absolutely said that with her initial training was not inclusive for the work she was passionate about. However, with telehealth now, the therapy world is much more easily accessed. To be honest, this interview made me more aware that I'm on the right path. I felt great all day after we spoke. I definitely see I see benefits of a hospital system as well as a private practice. To have the corporate backing with employment perks is increasingly attractive that you would have in a healthcare system. However, the flexibility of a private practice is also a benefit as well. So while I can't say what setting I'll be in yet, I'm confident it will be beneficial for me and for my clients.